What's up, guys? Chase over here, bringing you another video to my channel. Anyways, guys, it's time for the Q&As. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. If you guys want to send questions for the Q&As, description box down below with all the details. Also, guys, later today I'm releasing my WWE Monday Night Raw review, so make sure you guys check that out. And check out my Randy Orton video from yesterday. Why? Because it's Randall Keith Orton. Anyways, let's get started with this video as Red Wolf asked the question, in your opinion, who has the most tragic death in wrestling history? Has to be Chris Benoit, man. I'm sorry. There's nothing more tragic than Chris Benoit, dude. I don't know who else would have the most tragic death, but it's definitely Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit has the most tragic death in wrestling history. And what's your favorite superhero movie? My favorite superhero movie, and keep in mind, people, he's not asking for best superhero movie. He's asking for my personal favorite. My personal favorite superhero movie is Spider-Man, the original in 2003. I love that movie so much, man. I saw it on 5 separate occasions, man. And the first time I saw it was with my mom and my little brother. I loved it. Ever since then, I just wanted to go see it again. And I would find ways to go see that movie. Like, one of my friends, he didn't see that movie yet. And then later on, because like he had to convince his mom to like pretty much go see Spider-Man. And I said, "Oh, I've already seen it, but I want to go see it again. So I'll go with you to help convince your mom that it's good." And so I went to his house and I convinced his mom that it's not that bad of a movie, even though it's PG-13. We can watch it as kids, and it does have a kid feel to it. And so she took us to go see Spider-Man. Then one of my friends, he wanted to see Spider-Man with me. And so he asked if I ever seen it yet, and I said no, I haven't. And I completely lied to him about that because I already saw it twice before that. And so I went to go see Spider-Man with him and his family. Then my babysitter, she wanted to go see Spider-Man, and she was like excited to see it, but she hasn't found time to see it yet. And then later on, I said, "I want to go see Spider-Man. My mommy won't and dad won't let me see those types of movies, so it'd be cool to go see Spider-Man." And she's like, you won't tell your parents that I took you?" And I'm like, "No." I pretty much lied through my teeth too, because I just wanted to go see Spider-Man at the time. And so she was just like, "All right, let's go see Spider-Man." And so we went to go see Spider-Man together. And then afterwards, like the 5th time, I think like the 5th time I did the same thing where another friend was just like, like they haven't seen that movie yet. So I went to go see it with that friend as well. So I saw that movie like 5 times when I was a little kid. I paid so much money just to go see Spider-Man 1. It's probably my favorite movie. The DVD, I watch it every once in a while. It's like, that's one of the movies that I watch every once in a while. I remember when I first got my Netflix account just recently, I put in, I saw Spider-Man was there, and I watched that movie. So I was just like, boom, Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, the original, is my favorite movie. Is it the best superhero movie? Nah, not by a long shot. It's not the best Spider-Man movie either. But it's definitely my favorite superhero movie, just because of how many times I went to go see that shit. Just because I would lie to so many people about how I haven't seen it, and I had such good time with it, and it just never got old to me as a little kid. I like the comic book of it and everything, the novel for it, man. I hated reading books, but I had the novel for it, man. So you gotta know, I love that movie. I used to have a Spider-Man 1 t-shirt too, that I got like after seeing the movie with the babysitter, because she took me to Hot Topic to buy a t-shirt. So yeah, it was fucking awesome. I love the original Spider-Man. I don't have that t-shirt anymore, man. Just know I was like 9 years old when I was seeing that, so it does not fit me anymore. The Gochi Man asks, "What do you think of Girl Meets World?" Go back to my Q&A video. I think it was 33, where I said the title is "It's Back." And pretty much the Q&As are back, and I answered the questions about Girl Meets World. A lot of people were asking me questions about those. When it comes down to Girl Meets World, I said this in a nutshell. I'm excited for it. I'm not going to bash the first season that much because it's a first season of a television show, so I have to wait and see what they're going to do with it. And he also asked, "What did you think of the Aces and Eights funeral?" Probably one of TNA's best segments in a long time. I think it was really damn funny what they were doing there, especially the part where Samoa Joe has the beer that the Aces and Eights were drinking all the time. And Samoa Joe was about to hand off bury the beer, and then he's like, "This is some perfectly good beer, guys. Let's not waste it. Let's drink it ourselves." And so he starts handing off the beer, and then he finally gets to Kurt Angle. He's like, "Kurt!" And he's like, "Oh, no, maybe you shouldn't have one." That was hilarious. Because Kurt Angle could make fun of himself for all the alcohol problems that he was having, but I just thought that was such a funny segment between them. Minus the ending where Bully Ray came in like AJ Styles, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you." Yeah, it was a good promo. Definitely a promo people should watch at TNA. It's on their website. or on their YouTube. Final Limits asked, and he asked the question like, did you know that Edge's original gimmick, which he made his debut in 1998, was supposed to be a death mute, and his name was supposed to be either Rage or Riot? What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I did know that from the video that you posted on your Facebook, and not only that, from the Talk is Jericho with Edge, and I believe one of the Edge DVDs, he talks about originally supposed to be like this mysterious dark character named Riot. So I do remember Edge talking about that. The deaf mute thing, it wouldn't have worked whatsoever in the world of professional wrestling, because then you have to force a manager on him. But who's a perfect manager that can work with that character? How long does the manager want to invest with this character? And not only that, you're kind of like copying a little bit of what the Undertaker was when he first debuted. And Edge, yes, he has the look, being like what, 6'5", 200 something pounds at the time. But the thing is, it's just like deaf mute character for Edge. I don't think it would have gotten him a long career in the WWE. He's lucky that he was able to talk and become the Edge character and be original that he of what he did for his early career. So it's good that he didn't become that deaf mute character, because I don't think it would have had a lot of legs. I think he would have had a nice solid like three-year run with the company as Rage or Riot, and then they would have sent him down to like an OVW to retool him and all that other stuff. So it's almost a blessing that Edge did not become Rage or Riot. And then you also asked, did you know that Trish Stratus was supposed to face Lita at Mania 21, but since Lita got injured, she faced Hemi instead? Yes, I do remember that. Indeed, I did know that actually, because I remember that Lita was supposed to wrestle Trish. But then she hurt her like shoulder or something like that. It looked like they were setting up for Trish versus Lita at WrestleMania, which would have made fucking sense to have that Divas match at a WrestleMania. But then she injured like her shoulder or something, and so Christy Hemme took the spot, and that's why Lita was walking with Christy Hemme at WrestleMania 21. And I did like the storyline that they did with Christy Hemme, that Lita trained her and stuff. So it was actually not that bad of a storyline. It was just a bad match. I didn't think the storyline was completely terrible. 3 Count asked, thoughts on Randy Orton breaking Shane McMahon's ankle with Legacy in 2009? It was a great way to get heel heat on Legacy, especially because they needed it. You need to make Legacy look like a dominant force, and it was a great way to write Shane off TV. Would you have wanted to see a Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton feud like back in 2004 or 05 if Lesnar had not left? Yeah, I think it would have been a good feud. I probably would have done it at like one of the big 4 pay-per-views and done it like a Raw versus SmackDown match, you know, when brands actually mattered. Maybe like a Royal Rumble 05, just to have like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar wrestle for like the final spot in the Royal Rumble match. I think that would have been an interesting match for them to have. That would have been good in my personal opinion. Or Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton are already in the Royal Rumble, so the winner gets a number 30 spot. I think that would have been a really good story to tell for the 05 Royal Rumble, so I wouldn't have mind that. As for feud, yeah, probably like if I were to start a Brock Lesnar Randy Orton feud, I wouldn't go 04 or 05 because I don't want to take away Randy Orton's Taker matches. Maybe 06 I would do a little mini feud with them. Maybe do like started at like, you know, December, and then later on have it build up at the Royal Rumble where like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar eliminate one another from the Royal Rumble match, do something at No Way Out between those two, and then have a big match at WrestleMania 22. So that's what I probably would do. A Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar feud would be in 06, not really 04 or 05, because 04 Randy Orton was doing the whole breaking away from Evolution skit, and then 05 was the Epic Taker feud. I wouldn't know how Lesnar's career would be in 04 and 05, in my personal opinion, so I would have to wait and see. He probably would have got drafted to Raw, if anything, though, because they would probably want Brock Lesnar on the Raw show. John Pipico asked a bunch of Deluxe Man questions again. I'm going to answer one of them, and then I'm going to address it, because I'm just going to be real here. What did you think of Deluxe Man's mashup videos? I do like his mashup videos. I like mashup videos in general. I like when people can be creative with it and can mix beats with songs and the lyrics with songs, so I like it. But John Pipico, I understand you like the Deluxe Man. I understand he's an idol of yours, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. There is nothing wrong with that. There's people who idolize certain people for whatever reasons, but listen, man, this is the Chase Oliver Q&A, or wherever the titles are for now for the YouTube videos. The Chase Oliver Q&As. I am answering your questions you want me to answer. This is not the Deluxe Man Q&A. Okay? I don't hate Deluxe Man or anything. I'm just asking you nicely, man, and I know you're probably a smart human being. please ask other questions about in the world of wrestling, the world of sports. Because to me personally, I understand you want people's thoughts on the Lexman. Don't get me wrong, he's a great YouTuber, man. He is a great YouTuber. He gives out some of the best wrestling commentaries on the YouTube. I understand you want people to talk about your idol too. But dude, this is a Chase Oliver Q&A. I want to know what questions you have for me in the world of sports, the world of wrestling, the world of whatever you want to ask. I give this open forum for you to ask anything. And I'm sorry, man, if I open my inbox next week and you do ask me questions, and it is about the Lexman, I'm not going to answer the questions. Maybe every once in a while you can ask me a Deluxe Man question, but every week you have to ask me like what my favorite Deluxe Man videos are, or what my favorite Deluxe Man mashup video is, and all that other stuff. Dude, I get it. You like Deluxe Man. That's cool. He's your idol and all. I'm not trying to bash you for it. But there has to be something in the world of whatever that you could ask me. There's 2 questions you can ask me every single week. Go outside the box. I want to know what you will ask me, man. I know you're a smart individual. So please, please ask a different form of questions that do not involve the Lexman. Every once in a while, a Lexman question asking about my thoughts on him or thoughts on the video that he made, that's cool. Just like people when they ask me, what are your thoughts on Bruce Splits? What are your thoughts on OTR Essential? What are your thoughts on the Wrestling Gurus and all those other YouTube channels? That's fine to ask those types of questions. But every week, come on, man. You can do better. I know you can do better. I understand you love the Lexman, but please, man, ask different questions for the Q&A. So just giving you the heads up and warning. So don't get mad if I don't answer your future questions if they're all about the Lexman. I'm just being real here. I'd rather address you and tell you what's up than, not answer your questions whatsoever. Kamari Ronzo asked, what would you do if you saw an old lady had a seizure on the ground and you were the only person who dared to help her? Would you A, help her, B, call someone else for help and walk away, and C, do nothing and watch her suffer and point and laugh? C is just too cruel, man. My heart's not that black. I would do A, just because it's natural instinct on me. I would help her, to talk to her during this whole time, saying, it's going to be okay, just relax. Don't move your body. You always have to hold the person's hand and talk to them. That's the best way. And then I would call 911 to help this lady, and hopefully she's safe. So that's what I do. I'll do A, help her. And then he also asked, what would you do if you looked outside your window and you saw 2 tigers loose that escaped from the jungle? What would you do? A, do nothing. B, call animal control. Or C, go outside with a baseball bat and challenge the 2 tigers for a fight. Dude, I'll get my ass kicked if I chose C, man. I could come out there with my baseball bat and be like, yo, motherfucking tigers, you ready to go down? And they'll just look at me like, look at this dumbass. Let's eat him. Like, they would just kill me. A, doing nothing would just be looking at the tigers. So that'd be pretty cool. But I'll call animal control. And the funny thing is actually at my college, Moore Park College, that I live by, they have a zoo. And they have lions and shit. And I'm not making this shit up that we have a zoo at Moore Park College. Go look up the Moore Park College. Like, if you guys have time or if you guys are interested, go, like, Google Moore Park College and go look, or Moore Park College Zoo. We have a fucking zoo. And there's classrooms by the zoo. And one of my biggest fears always was that when I would ever go out of the bathroom, one of the lions broke out of their fucking cage. And they would just look at me and try to eat my dumb ass. So I don't know why that question was. That question is actually a really good question because that could actually be possible that a lion would break up. We don't have tigers at the zoo. I know we have like a fucking lion and a mountain lion at the zoo. So I could just totally picture that big old lion that's at the zoo right now just walking around my neighborhood like it's nothing, because that shit is actually possible. That shit is possible where animals could break out and freaking be walking around my neighborhood. And I definitely would be calling it animal control or the Moore Park Zoo. But yeah, go check out Moore Park Zoo. And anyone who's interested of being like a zookeeper or vet or something like that, Moore Park has a great program for that. I don't know why I'm plugging my college, but hey, it is what it is. Cornello Ranello asked, what if Owen Hart never botched that pile driver and broken Steve Austin's neck in 1997? Would Austin still be wrestling today? No, I don't think he would be wrestling today. He definitely would have gotten more years on his career. I think that Austin would have stopped wrestling around 2005. I think 2005 he would have passed the torch to a younger guy at WrestleMania 21. So I think he would have had that, and we'd definitely see a lot more appearances from Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's for sure. I don't think it would be such sparse. I think we'd see a lot more of the Stone Cold Steve Austin guy. So Yeah, that's what I would think. I don't think he would be wrestling today in 2014. That's way too long, and I don't think his body would be able to handle that because Austin had suffered other injuries besides the neck injury that also hurt his career. Uh, and his other question is, what are your thoughts on the people who say that Owen died because it was karma for breaking Austin's necks? That's just fucking stupid. That is fucking stupid. Whoever says that, you're an idiot. I don't think you're saying it, Cornello Ranello, but for all the people who say it's karma for breaking Austin's necks, you're just fucking stupid, man. That's just dumb to say. King Romeo asked, what do you think of that segment in SmackDown in January 2004 where Benoit had Heyman in the sharpshooter and Cena said, Chris? And then Benoit used to put pressure and Cena put soap in the Heyman's mouth. It was a funny segment. It was definitely a good segment for Chris Benoit because at the time he was playing the underdog type character. Like, I just want a shot at the World Championship. I have to win the Royal Rumble and all that. So it was good for Chris Benoit, and it was good for John Cena, adding more comedy to that awesome rapper gimmick that he used to have. And did you know in 2005, WWE wanted to have Hardcore Holly change his gimmick to Spacecore Holly and have him come out with a space monkey and a spacesuit? Thoughts on that being canceled? I kind of. Is it bad that I kind of want to see what they would have done with that? Space Core Holly? It's good that it got canceled because it sounds terrible, but at the same time, I kind of I feel like I got gypped of some good comedy material, man. Come on. Oh God. It's glad that it got gypped, but it's kind of bad that I actually want to see it. Nintendo Fanboy 1998 asked, what do you think of Mustache? What? Okay, hold on. What do you think of the Mustache Man from NXT, Eli Cottonwood? He was on season 2 of NXT Morrison Pro. I didn't really think anything of Eli Cottonwood at the time. I'm sorry, I didn't watch NXT season 2. I think the only thing that I know from NXT season 2 is that Alex Riley was with The Miz and Caval won it, right? Low Key or Senshi, whatever the fuck he's going by now. He won that season, so yeah. And he also asked, what are your thoughts of fans of Benoit who said that what are your thoughts on fans of Benoit who said what he did wasn't terrible and they make brain damage excuses all the time? By the way, to even seen Benoit fans out there, I don't care who you are. I have a message for you. Fuck you guys. You are the biggest piece of fucking shit walking on this planet. He said that, not me. He pretty much told me, say, read my message about Benoit's fans out loud, please. So I'm just making that clear. I made a Benoit video discussing Benoit a long time ago. So go check that one out. It was in 2012. I believe it was like 5 years after his death. I was asking, why are people so obsessed with Chris Benoit? It was just a simple question, and people really got upset about it. I don't know why. I don't know why people are obsessed with the murderer too, dude. I totally feel what you're saying. Kazuya Mishima asks, do you think Natalya is super overrated, especially to those maple syrup, bacon eating, hockey watching, and can barely speak English Canadians? Just because she's a heart doesn't mean she's as good as them. Just saying. By the way, read it out loud. And I did read it out loud. I don't think Natalya is overrated. I think she's one of the best divas that we have seen in the wild in the ring. And keep in mind, Kazura, is just that when you look at the typical divas today in professional wrestling, most of them suck in the ring, especially at that time. And so seeing a Natalya and a Beth Phoenix, of course we're going to overrate those divas and say they're fucking great. Because all the other divas, they can't fucking wrestle. And when you see a diva that can wrestle, you're like, man, that person's actually pretty damn good. So, in all honesty here, Natalya kind of gets a short end of the stick because she is a wonderful talent inside of the ring, but at the same time, she's wrestling in an era where divas wrestling sucks dick. So, we tend to overrate her a little bit. And how come there aren't any wrestlers from the country of Brazil? That's a really good question. That is a really good question. I don't know really how to answer it. Maybe that Brazilians like MMA and the jiu-jitsu a little bit more and they feel that's a better career path for them. Maybe there hasn't been Brazilians that have been successful in wrestling, so they don't think they should be wrestling. I mean, I'm pretty sure there has been successful Brazilian wrestlers in the past, but I just can't remember. Maybe it's just something that doesn't interest them. Maybe wrestling is not a big market in Brazil. So probably that's why there's no wrestlers in Brazil. You know, it all depends on market if wrestling's big there. Chiroro asked a question about John Piccolo, Pipical, and he asked about, you know, pretty much why he asked the X-Men questions. I already addressed that. And like I said, John Paper Call, nothing against you, man. It's cool to have an idol. Just ask other questions. And then the second question is, did you know there are black Brazilians? Political correct term is Afro-Brazilians, white Brazilians, political correct term Caucasian Brazilians, and Asian Brazilians living in Brazil, millions of them. Did you know that all? And then he says this is not a racist question and all that other stuff. He just wanted to know if I knew. I did know there was black Brazilians living there. Caucasian Brazilians, I've seen like probably like 1 or 2 Caucasian Brazilians in my life. Not in Brazil, but I've seen a couple. And Asian Brazilians, that's pretty damn hot if there's an Asian Brazilian out there that's a woman. I mean, think about that. An Asian woman with a big old ass from Brazil. That sounds beautiful to me. And she can speak that Portuguese. Hook me up with the Asian Brazilian. But I did not know there was Asian Brazilians. That's for damn sure. Roy Poon asked the questions. What are your thoughts on the feud that happened in 2002 with Trish Stratus and Victoria? Did you enjoy it or not? Yes, I did enjoy it because it led to a fucking awesome hardcore match between those two. I believe at Survivor Series. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember exactly when that feud was. But yes, Trish Stratus versus Victoria was a good feud, especially for Victoria. Victoria really broke out in that feud. I loved her theme music at the time, and everything about Victoria was just fucking hot and sexy. So, you know what? Yes, I did like the Trish Stratus and Victoria feud. I felt it helped both Trish Stratus and Victoria in their careers. And then he also asked, what do you think of the storyline with Tori Wilson's real-life father, Al Wilson, marrying Dawn Marie and then dying after? Minus the lesbian action between Dawn Marie and Tori, could care less about that feud. It was garbage. Loner Low asked, why do you not like Gunner and the Wolves from TNA? I just don't like Gunner whatsoever. I think he's garbage. And I've already explained why in multiple Q&As, why I think Gunner's garbage. So don't ask a question afterwards. In great detail, explain why Gunner's garbage. Because I've already answered that question multiple times in different versions of the Q&A. I actually don't hate the Wolves. I don't get where I hate the Wolves all of a sudden. I'd make fun of people who think the Wolves are like the greatest shit in the world, but I don't hate them. I have actually grown to like them in TNA. So, in all honesty, I don't hate the Wolves anymore. I didn't really find them interesting in 2012, but I don't really hate them that much anymore. And what show or episode segment made you say, fuck TNA, I'm done watching this garbage? What show or segment? I'm trying to think, because I still watch TNA, so I just don't review it. There's a difference between watching it and reviewing it. I just don't review TNA. I just think it's too easy to review, and that TNA gives us, like, their open book of, hey, this is what we're going to do in storyline terms, so it's just not fun for me to review. But I don't know, really. That's a question I want to know from you guys. What segment or show made you say, fuck TNA, I'm done watching? Because I still watch TNA. I still watch the shows as much as I can, so I don't know if there's really a particular show and segment that made me want to stop watching TNA, in all honesty, because there's been stuff that pissed me off in TNA, but I still watch just because it's different forms of wrestling, and it's on my TV, so why am I complaining? It's free wrestling for me to watch and enjoy sometimes, so yeah, I really can't answer that question because I still watch it, so. Lino Gino asked, who was hosting the IWC Awards 2013, and were you nominated for Best Variety Channel on YouTube, and where can I see the result at that? That is a question I want to know, too. I don't know who was hosting, but I want to know if I won an award. If not, I'm going to fucking say I won an award, goddammit. I was nominated for Best Variety Channel, but I'm pretty sure I lost because Bruce Blitz has, like, 10 times more fans than I do, so he probably won. I know Final Limits threw a vote out my way, so... Final Limits was actually nominated for an award too, if I'm not mistaken, like best non-YouTuber, like best commenter. So I don't know who won. In all honesty, I don't know if the website updated the results for the YWC Awards in 2013, but yeah. And what do you think of the 1994 movie Street Fighter? It's a fun, bad movie to watch. I know a lot of people say, like, I don't watch those terrible Street Fighter movies. Nah, man, it's not that bad, dude. It's fun to watch, you know. Some people like bad movies, and that's one of the bad movies that I like, and I'm proud to say it. It's a fun movie to watch. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, it will butcher a lot of your favorite Street Fighter characters, don't get me wrong, but it's a fun movie to watch. Real Harry asks, why do you like Bobby Lashley? The guy has no emotion at all. He's generic powers due to all the roided muscles and is horrendous on the mic. He makes Batista sound like CM Punk on the mic. I like Bobby Lashley because he's very athletic. Something about athletes make me happy. I don't know why. But yeah, I just like Bobby Lashley. I had no problem with him. Does he sound like Mickey Mouse? Yes, he does. He sounds like Mickey Mouse. But at the end of the day, I just never really hated Bobby Lashley. I get it where you're saying he's a generic powerhouse. Totally agree with you there that he is just a generic powerhouse. But he was also someone that could like freaking dive over the ropes. That shit was crazy to me. When I saw Bobby Lashley do that, I was like, God damn, this guy can fly. So I just really like the tools that Bobby Lashley had. I feel like given more time in WWE, I think he could have done really, really well. And he also asked if Owen Hart survived that fall, would he still be wrestling today or in a wheelchair? What do you think he would be right now? He definitely would have some problems with his health. I don't think he would be able to wrestle at all today. I definitely think there might have been some brain damage from the fall. Like I said, I've never seen the fall live or anything, and I don't plan on seeing it. So I'm guessing there would have been some implications that would make him, never to ever wrestle again, or give a proper speech to his fans if he were to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, I think that he would just probably be in a wheelchair and he would have brain damage, which is pretty sad to talk about. Leon Pasquality asks, I have noticed in some comments that Railroad Harold is slowly breaking character. He seems to no longer talk in the third person and is also saying you instead of the only person's name. What are your thoughts on that, and have you noticed that? Maybe Railroad Harold is evolving. Hey, Pokemon evolved. Maybe Railroad Harold is evolving. Maybe Railroad Harold is becoming a bigger and badder king of Nigeria. Maybe he just got bored with Nigeria, and Railroad Harold is saying, you know what? I want to be the king of the world. So maybe Railroad Harold is transforming his gimmick. Maybe there's no more scene along with Railroad Harold. Maybe he's like The Rock when he came back in 2003. In 2003, he's just done. He's done with singing along with everyone. He's time to break out and make a new character. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe this is all one big ploy for Railroad Harold. I just noticed it today because of the Railroad Harold question. I was surprised too. There was no Railroad Harold question 1. What does Chase Oliver think of this and stuff like that? So yeah, maybe he's changing. So we'll have to wait and see. It's a developing storyline here in the YWC. What did you think of Hardcore Holly and Cody Rhodes tag team in 2007? Or did you like Ted DiBiase Jr. better? I thought it was good for Cody Rhodes to team up with Hardcore Holly. I like those tag teams where like the veteran teams up with the rookie and then they break off. Most of the time it's the rookie turning heel. I kind of wish they sometimes did the veteran turn heel, saying they're sick and tired of being held back by the freaking rookie. So, in all honesty, I like the tag team. I didn't absolutely love it, but I thought it was a good theme for Cody Rhodes' career. And Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr., when they first started out, I could give two shits about them. I really did not care about them all that much. John Kunt asked the question surrounding this Q&A. Doesn't Eric Rowan look like a garden gnome? Yeah, he does look like a garden gnome. Can you just imagine? Can you imagine if you're at someone's house and you see fucking Eric Rowan's fat ass just sitting there, fucking like doing nothing? He's just sitting there like this, with his damn old beard and shit, wearing a garden gnome hat. That'd be fucking hilarious, man. I want to see that. And whatever happened to that guy that was part of Cody Rhodes and DiBiase's team of Priceless called Manu? Remember him from 2008? That Samoan guy? Yeah, whatever happened to Manu? They probably were just looking at Manu and they said, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. You can't be a WWE superstar. He must have done something to piss off someone because he was a big part of Legacy for a little bit. He was one of the original mentors. Him and Sim Snuka, they were a part of Legacy before Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase were. So, well, Cody Rhodes was a part of that. Ted DiBiase, he wasn't. Or what was the storyline? Was Ted trying to get into Legacy or Cody Rhodes? I can't remember which one it was. It's been a while. I got to watch that again. But yeah, I think Manu, he just didn't have what it takes to be a part of the big time faction called Legacy. Anyways, guys, thanks again for the Q&A. I know this one went long. I'm going to try to shorten up the Q&As and get through the questions a lot more faster so you guys can watch the videos more. Apologies once again for another long Q&A episode. You guys just ask interesting questions, and sometimes I just like to answer them in great fucking detail. But in anyways, thank you all so much for sending the questions. Make sure you guys check out my website, chillingwithchase.com. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOver68. A Raw review is coming up later today. Thank you all very much. Peace!